Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Long Run Show record special. We are today going to be talking to one of our runners at 40 Runs, one of our satellite leads, and it's a genuinely, really interesting interview. And that's why I said to Hayden when I watched it, we have to put this out as a podcast, 100%. I want you to listen to it, basically. So that's why we've jumped on to do this sort of intro into it. I think that's a fair way to put it, isn't it, Hayden?
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that, well, you're going to go on to explain about
Yeah.
why we done the interview, etc. But yeah, no, totally agree. It's really special.
It's a crack. And we are, over the course of the year, going to be picking more and more of these out because we feel, rightly or wrongly, as everyday runners ourselves, I know people go, you're doing all the marathon majors. Anyway, put that to one side, yeah. As a club, as a community, we've been the champion of that since 2017. Okay. We started free social runs across the whole country. Yeah. Virtual groups, biggest virtual club we became. Yeah. That sort of thing. We've done that from the everyday runners perspective, and we've always championed it. We've always spoke about that. We've always talked about back of the pack runners, volunteers, the whole, it's not just about how fast you can run around a track or, run a marathon. For us, it's never been that. And that's why we feel within the community and club, we have so many stories, so many unbelievable people that we want to highlight them because we thought it's interesting. You can listen to your Colin Jacksons and your what's his face who ran across Africa so many times. All right. Nothing wrong with them. But we want to talk about the real everyday runners. You might be yourself. You might have a story. If you have, drop us an email, hello@fordyruns.com, and we'll get you on. Because at the back end of 2025, Hayden and his team have put together a remarkable thing, and it's the club YouTube channel, the 40 Runs Running Club YouTube channel, which was a fantastic idea aimed at, again, highlighting the stuff that the club's doing and the stories that are going on and the people that are there. Hey, you're there, but we'll talk about it. But, we're going to show stuff like, again, the volunteering side of things. What's it like to volunteer at a race? And that kind of thing, some of the park run stuff that we do, things like that. And again, highlight the stories of people within the club and the community. It's a brilliant thing. Hey, give me a bit more info on it, can you?
Yeah, it was something we come up with. We thought that there's loads of podcasts out there. There's loads of YouTube channels out there, and a lot of them are either about not self-indulgent. That sounds a bit derogatory. They're about the person on the channel, and that's what you go and look after. You think this person's great. I want to learn about him. Well, we thought we want to give a platform to, as you quite rightly said, the everyday runner, which you might class, I don't know, the normal runner, the people out there that don't tell their stories. And yes, some of the stories that we're going to see come up over the next year or so are going to be mind-blowing. Like, in my opinion, the gentleman that we've just spoke to, Michael. But there's going to also be stories of people that just come on and it's just Mike Smith, who's just literally, he got into running 5 years ago. It's really helped him. He's got a lot fitter. He works hard. It's a release for him. Not a mind-blowing story, but I still want to hear his story. I want to know why Joe Bloggs runs marathons. I want to know why Callie down there will never go past a 5K distance. Just everyday runners.
Ooh,
I just want to hear their stories.
Yeah, working mums, working dads, shift workers, people who, got ballot places, people who have always dreamed of running a certain race, or they've taken on a big challenge because they lost someone and they wanted to raise a load of money for charity, and they did that, and that's taken something. Those kind of stories, which actually I find really powerful, really motivating when you listen to them. And that, as I said, that's the basis. That's the sort of the reason why we wanted to put this story together and talk about this story, Michael's story, who is one of our satellite leaders. So again, if you didn't know anything about it, we have over 50 clubs across the whole country that are free to, all the clubs are free to attend. Okay. It doesn't have to be a certain speed or anything like that. And you might think, I'm too slow. It's absolute nonsense. Just get along to him, right? But Michael's one of the incredible people who turns up every week in the snow, in the rain, in the ice, and in the 30 degrees heat, and gets people together and takes them out running. So in my eyes, he's already a hero. But I think if you listen to this story now, which I'm just about to play you'll get a real insight into somebody who's been through a lot, but running's really, really helped him. Is that fair to say, Hayden?
Absolutely bang on the money.
Yeah, so enjoy this. We'll catch you at the end of it. Make sure you hang on and listen to the end of it. But yeah, this is Michael's story.
Right, hello everybody, and welcome back to 40 Runs Running Club TV and our specialist beneath the bib one-on-one interviews. The idea of these is to get behind the bib and find out more about the runner within the club. And today we actually have one of our satellite leaders, a Catford satellite leader, and that is Michael. Michael, hello mate, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good, thanks. Yourself?
Very good. Did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah, busy as always, and yeah, back to work tomorrow. So yeah, I do enjoy Christmas, but it was yeah, a bit manic.
It always is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you sort of like get over it for a couple of months, and everyone's waiting for it to come back around again.
Yeah, the kids will be.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Right, mate. What we're going to do is we're going to have a little chat with you, find out a few bits and pieces about you, the sort of things that people in the community would have seen and thought, I didn't realise that about Michael. Some of the people in the community might not even know who you are, mate. So today's your platform. Tell us all about you as we get beneath the bib and find out more about you. So let's start maybe back from the beginning. Let's talk about maybe where you was brought up, where you was raised. You went to school. Did you do any sports at school? That sort of thing. Tell us a bit about the younger Michael.
The younger Michael, yeah. So I was born in Croydon, moved around quite a bit, moved to Gloucester when I was very young, probably about 1 or 2. We moved back.
I'd say Croydon to Gloucester, but that was a bit of a change.
It's not a very common one, no. So my dad was an aerospace engineer. So he worked,
wow.
So he worked. There's a company called Doughty's that was over in Gloucester. So we moved with him. And then we moved back. My mum and dad split up. We moved back to Croydon around, must have been about 8 or 9, which was pretty tough because by that time I had the full-on Gloucesterian accent, and coming back to Croydon was interesting. So went to Addington High. I did do quite a bit of athletics at school actually, which I did long jump, which might surprise some people because I'm only like 5'9". So did long jump. I was doing more sprinting, and really enjoyed it, but never really carried anything on from there. It was football after that, really. I was in the football team, and that probably took me all the way up to sort of later teenage years and so, and then found myself back into running in a bit later in life, as many
later in life. So how long ago are we talking about now? Whereabouts are you in your life when you started to find running again?
I flirted with running around about 2017, I like to say. So so much so I did what I did the half marathon. I'm trying to get it out of my head. It was that painful. Royal Parks half marathon for Alzheimer's, which like I said, it was painful. Did that, finished it, and was like, never again. That's enough running for me. And then I came back to it, as probably many people did, in 2020, that year. So it was lockdown. So I started again round about March, when we had that little time to be able to get out and an hour's exercise as such. So that's when I began to run again. And found my way back home to it.
Brilliant. So that's really good. So I know I've seen you around at a few park runs and things. You're quite nippy. You're quite fast, aren't you?
I've built up. I wasn't at first, as nobody is really. It's kind of I built up, and I think I've got into a training plan. I did it the typical way, as people do really. It starts off walk, run, sort of get through, and then that's enough. Build up to 5K. Okay, don't need to go any further than that. 10K, half marathon, do a marathon. So my training blocks for the marathons, I've done 3 marathons, and I think in the middle of those training blocks, so they're always starting in January, and around about the March time, it was where I sort of peak in 5K sort of speed. So
Right, okay.
yeah, I broke my PB this year, which was 18:42, I believe.
18:42.
Yeah,
That is quick.
so yeah,
That is quick.
buzzing with that. So hopefully next year, yeah, can 18:41 would be great.
18:41 would be fantastic for the 99% of people, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So your journey with running, going through it and stuff, what actually made you want to do a bit of running, just to get fit, or is there other reasons behind this?
Yeah, absolutely. So it started off, it was fitness. It was, how can I what can I do that's easy? I actually tried a couple of this David Hay DVD I had, and the coordination for me was like moving here, left, right, and centre. I couldn't do it at all. So I thought, well, I may as well try this running malarkey again. Get the shoes on and just go, because the simplicity of it. I did pick it up because I was struggling as well. So my mental health was at an all-time low in 2020. At the beginning of 2020, I'd actually moved out from the family home, and yeah, to make matters worse, my dad got ill with COVID at that time. So I kind of had the crossroads of either going one way or the other, really. And yeah, those 3 weeks were sort of dark. Unfortunately, he passed away of COVID 3 weeks after. Then March, April 2020. So it was at the height of it, and that was my release, really, because there was no funeral, it was at that point where it was, you just couldn't do nothing. So it was a closed cremation, and it was very much, I had to release these feelings because they have to go somewhere. So where I was kind of blessed in a way, because where I was staying with my mum, and my dad was still in Gloucester that way. So I was staying with my mum in Battle, which is near Hastings, and there's some lovely woods at the back. So my first love sort of began with trail running, really, because it was just out in the fields. Obviously, at that point, nobody was there, and I could just get out and purge those emotions, So I'd walk, I'd get a podcast, and yeah, I guess that's a segue into how I found 40 Runs as well, with the podcasts and so on. So I just really learned at that point to hone in on my emotions, really, and what I was feeling. So how I had to, okay, if I'm feeling like I just need a sort of vigorous run, go out and run. If I just need to get out and walk and run, and yeah, really sort of as I said, purge my emotions from there, really. So yeah, and that's it just stayed with me from there. I tried so many things at that point, to, everything that was supposedly, which was good for you, I would try at that point. Like, okay, I'd do a run, then I'd come back and I'd do a workout, I'd meditate, I'd try the cold shower, not for long. And then running stuck. Running is the one thing that really did stick, and until this day. Yeah.
So when we talk about, obviously, the whole thing about your dad with COVID and passing away, that you don't need any mental health issues for that to affect you in that way, irrelevantly of that. But the fact that you actually had mental health issues, so is this something you've always been plagued with throughout your life, or is this just something that come around? Was it COVID, do you think? Was that the trigger, or have you always suffered like
this? I think it was always there. Always there. My mum suffered with depression. She was a manic depressive at points, and so it was kind of always there. And at that point, at that time, I was drinking too much. I was up to silly stuff, really. So yeah, and I just never knew how to. I always think about it in a way of, okay, if Dad never got ill, would I have carried on running, or would I have gone that other way? I don't know. I don't have the answers to that, but it's something I definitely think about quite a lot. And I think at first I was, like I said, at first I was running for the fitness side, and in a space of a few weeks where he got ill, I guess I was kind of running for him, and also probably for a couple of years after, and then eventually running for myself. in that way, if that makes sense. It's,
no, absolutely does. And
yeah.
that actually be quite good to explain to. So a lot of people within our community, a lot of runners, to be fair, do run for their mental health and their own headspace. So for people that don't, and people that not so much won't relate to like what we talk about, but try to explain if it's possible, what release does running give? How does running, do you feel, in your opinion, make that side of things a bit better?
The way I've sort of looked at it is, in a way, it's where I was drinking a lot. It solved that problem, you know, in the moment, and then the problems come the following day, and so on and so on. The hangovers, it never solves anything. Running's almost the opposite. You know, when you're actually in it, especially if you're a hard 5K or something, it's painful. You're battling with, as you know, you're battling with your mind so many times, and there's so many times where I'll just go for a run, and straight away I know, like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. But I know once it's done, I know the feeling. It's the endorphins. It's all of that I know what it does to me, what it brings to me. And that's what I always say to so many people and friends that are like, oh, I don't know, I've tried to run, I've tried to do this, I can't. And and some people, you know, won't be able to, or just won't get into it, and that's fine. But I think you have to go through that pain at first, really, to actually push through that barrier, and then you get the rewards from it. It's it can be tough, but I've learned so much through running, so much about myself and so much about my emotions, I think, and how to really sort of stop and think and have more clarity in things. Even today, I was thinking, I'm not thinking, it's that weird time, isn't it? Christmas to New Year, and it's I just feel like I need something today. It was like, oh, I haven't been for a run 3 days. That was it. Went for a run, 2 miles. I did 2 miles, and come back. I was like, yeah, just the clarity. Sometimes it just releases all those thoughts in your head. It won't fix everything, of course, but it's for me, it's really important for your mental well-being, for me in particular.
It's not just for you. We hear the story everywhere. I do think there's a lot of sports where you can have team sports and things like that. But I think running, as you said, it's you on your own with your mind. And whereas a lot of people, when they have mental health, the last thing they want is to be alone in their mind. When you're out running, it's a different space. It's different. It feels different. And as you said, a lot of the time, if you're putting in a real hard effort or you're going to go longer, you are battling with your mind. So you're always fighting with your mind. So you're learning, I suppose, in a way to overcome your mind, to have that defense system up there. So it's almost training your mind, and the endorphins, everything else are just a side product. It's great. And honestly, just hearing your story, things like that, it's absolutely fantastic to hear the power of running, how it's helped you.
Yeah.
We'll go back to when you said about the trail run, you start listening to podcasts. And so you're saying that's how you found 40 Runs, was it?
Yeah, it was. I can't really remember, but there were 3 podcasts I was listening to at the time, and I was like, right, I wanted to find something from running, which I found 40. I can't even tell you how I found 40 Runs. It must have just come to me there at that point. And there was a grief podcast I was listening to, and there was a music podcast I was listening to, which was podcast by Joe Budden. Now, I don't even listen to rap music. I just found these 3 podcasts that was like, okay, that's on for quite a long time. I'm going to click on that and just listen to that and walk, run, background noise. And, you know, the podcast from you guys was, that was the one that really stuck. Because it was just, you know, it was doing what we were doing at that point, and it was in the moment of what we were all sort of going through, and you know, it just related for me. I was that sort of, like, just an everyday runner. I was just beginning here. I was just about, I took a turn to the left and just walked up a hill, and I've gone from there to being able to, in the space of 5 years, doing 3 marathons, which still, to me, it's just like, it's insane. It's insane.
Well, again, and it's not just doing marathons, because that's what we're going to move on to next. The fact that within the 40 Runs community, and you contacted myself quite a while ago, saying you'd like to take up the opportunity of being a satellite leader. So for those of you watching this that don't know how our satellite system works, we have a number of clubs all over the United Kingdom, and we rely on absolute legends and heroes of people like Michael all over the country to take on a location and basically commit your time, you know, and be there, just be that constant for people to come to every week and advertise your group, get people together. It's a big responsibility. And so yourself, you come up and you said you'd like to start a satellite club. And I remember asking you what the area was, and you used Catford. And I was like, okay, let's go Catford. Let's see what's going there. And literally, well, I've seen you in the last, how long's it been now? A couple of years ago, was it?
Yeah, it's been about 18, 19 months now. Yeah.
And I've seen the group start off with a few of you, and now the group's doing fantastic. So tell us a little bit about why you wanted to start the satellite club up, and how it's going. What you
it's
like
going great. It's going great. I mean, it brings a smile to my face, the group. I'm just still thinking, I haven't seen them since the Christmas do, actually. So that's, just making me chuckle. It started, I think it was just a case of, I think the closest was probably you guys to us, really, or Sue in London. And it was a case of just, okay, well, let's just start one here if I can. You know, there's so many runners around. I was in a group as well, which was part of my daughter's school, Kilmorey Runners. We used to do the big half every year. And yeah, there was a couple of people from there that were interested. And I thought, well, let's just go for it. Let's go for it. And yeah, it's been brilliant. It really has. Yeah, I absolutely love it. You know, sometimes obviously it's tough in the weather and bits and bobs, but it makes it all worth it. Even if it's just, you know, it's a cliche, but even if one person turned up, to me it's the world. It's going back to the mental health aspect, and if I can just get one or two people out that really need it, it's so rewarding. It really is.
It's great to see, actually. It's bloody hard work. So the fact you actually get something out of it it's absolutely fantastic. And that's what we love to see. What plans have we got for Catford then for this year? What are we going to be up to this year? Carrying on,
and I guess hopefully more meetups if we can. Keep on growing. It is growing. I mean, even in the WhatsApp group, we've got about 55, 60, probably around 60 people in the WhatsApp group. So hopefully just bridging that gap with some people that are on there. We're always in contact on there as well with people. Couch to 5K, which we're looking to begin in following week. So the round about the 10th, isn't it? So
because you just touch on as well. You just completed your LERF, haven't you? We went through the club.
I've just completed my LERF, recently. So so that's fantastic. That's been brilliant as well. That's been fantastic. So just it's amazing, really.
It's good to see. You could tell. I can see. I can see it in your face. You got the smile going. For yourself as a runner for the rest of the year, what are we looking at race wise? You got anything booked in? Any plans at all?
No marathons this year. None this year. So it's kind of a bit of a break there. But I have got a couple of plans. Fingers crossed. So I've got the Hastings half marathon, which was cancelled last year, and I couldn't do it in the October because I had my partner Leela. She had the Cardiff half that she ended up couldn't do it. But that's another story in the end. So I'm going to be doing the Hastings half, which if nobody's done it, I wouldn't recommend it. It's so painful. I've done it once. It's fun if you like hills.
I was going to say it sounds silly.
Yeah, it really is. I think I had more trouble getting around that than I did the marathon a couple of months later. It was I felt well. So
I'll stay away. I'll make a note of that one. Do not do Hastings.
But it's a great community down there, so it's fantastic in that sense. And then I plan to do. I've got a Gatwick half. I'm doing for the Run Through event, and that's where I'm aiming. Fingers crossed again to see if I can go sub 90 minutes for that one.
Lovely, nice.
So
nice.
And apart from that, yeah, just carrying on with the running, carrying on with the club, and yeah, hopefully getting
Excellent.
stronger.
It's great to see you. It's great to see you at all the events as well. Didn't mention the fact of some of the events you've been to this year. You've helped out being with leaders of some of the groups at the Christmas lights. And it's been absolutely brilliant to have you on board. Just tell people who, if anyone is in, what do we call Catford? South London? Southeast London. So if anyone's around the Southeast London or even South London, tell us whereabouts you meet, what days and times, Michael.
Yeah, so we meet at Catford Bridge Station. So at the bottom opposite Sainsbury's Local. We meet every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So absolutely, come on down, join us. Message me, message Hayden, message whoever on there. And yeah, it's fantastic group. We are a great group. We usually go in and around Ladywell, so a few of us come down from Forest Hill. So if you're in anywhere in that area, pop on down and come and join us.
Absolutely brilliant. You heard the man. If you're in that area, pop on down and see Michael and the crew. Listen, Michael, I just want to say a massive thank you for this. It's been absolutely great getting to know you a bit better. As you say, this was the idea beneath the bib, and I think we went beneath it quite a bit today and found out a lot more about you. And honestly, really appreciate your honesty. And I know it's not the easiest thing to talk about with a lot of people. So absolutely fantastic, mate. Great interview. Really, really appreciate that. Enjoyed that. And say, great to get to know you. Thanks very much. Really
very welcome. Very welcome.
And there we go. That's another Beneath the Bib. Keep tuned because there will be another one coming up very shortly. Thanks for watching, guys. And we'll catch up with you all very soon.
Okay, right. That's a good one.
I did warn people.
It's a powerful story, actually, Hayden, to be honest with you. And I think, yeah, you know, men's mental health, it's a bit of a Pandora's box in a way, isn't it? It's like it can get a bit dark, it can get a bit, you know, thing. But I think the story of running, you know, how it can have a transformative. It's a transformative mechanism for a lot of people, and yeah, that can be. And the great thing is, it can be whatever running. Running is like this one thing, but it could be golf, it could be fishing, it could be snooker. I got no idea. But whatever that is extremely powerful when it's a source of good, when it's a source of well-being. Would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. And I say Michael spoke about it quite openly, quite well about it. That he likes to just get out and go into them woods, and just have his own mind space. He knows when he's at home and he's got that moment where he thinks, my mind's overthinking things, my mind's overplaying. My cure, my remedy is to go out there and spend some time in my head outside doing a run, and it's clearly helped him. Obviously, the story we hear he tells about why he started running and how COVID, you know, we go into talk about mental health. Specifically, we're talking here about men's mental health, and I think COVID has just really brought this to such a bigger fruition since 2020. The cases obviously have gone through the roof, and his story and what's happened there is just, it's heartbreaking. It's understandable. It's relatable, and it helps. It helps you. There's so many people that are in exactly the same position, and
I think that's you know, the COVID pandemic. You know, I mean, you only need to run along London, and you see that wall with all the names and stuff like that. And I think for the people obviously it's affected, it's not lost, but for some people it is lost. It was like, oh, we had to work from home, and that was it, sort of thing. But actually, when you get into it and you hear these stories, it's like Jesus. And then, as you say, the byproduct of that of the people's mental health, but it gets chucked around too much now, I think, in terms of mental health this, mental health that, and it's just people looking for an excuse to take time off work, and everyone's getting diagnosed with this and everyone's getting diagnosed with that. And you know, in a way it almost gets a not bad rap, but it's like, do you know what I mean? It's chucked down your throats quite a bit, and it's I don't know. I worry that it's going to go the wrong way, especially with you know, so many people talking about something.
It's hard. It's hard to get the balance, isn't it? Because we've got this whole campaign of talking. You must talk about it. You must tell people your story. Tell people you don't feel good. Tell people things aren't right for you. So you've got that balance. You've got it. But as you said, we don't want to make it so that someone says to you, "I'm not feeling too great." You know, oh, you probably got mental health. That's all right. Everyone's got it. We don't. That's not what we want.
No, it's not what we want at all. It's like so an example, I've got to be a bit careful, but I heard a comment which I took offence to, because of obviously, again, if anybody doesn't know, I'm autistic and I've got ADHD. That's not something new, by the way. So I was born that way, but But someone put a comment, well, everyone's on the spectrum. Okay.
I've heard that a few times.
Do you know what that's actually like? Do you really know what it's like? Have you ever had to lay on the floor and you're contemplating whether you should end your life because you're so overwhelmed with what's going on, and you can't even communicate to anybody how that feels because you're just totally shut down because you can't cope, and that's not because you're looking for sympathy, it's because your brain is wired that way. It's a strong one to take sometimes. I mean, I've got to the point where sometimes when I'm so overwhelmed, I've been in sessions where I've totally unmasked, and I hate the phrase masking. You ask my therapist, I hate it with a passion. But I've got to the point where I'm so unmasked because I'm in a safe environment. I've got to the point where I actually can't. I struggle with physical talk because I can't. I've got peeled back to that level that I'm dealing with the issues that I'm struggling to actually physically talk. That's how bad I can get if I'm truly in that state. I'm lucky that I go through various different stages, right? And I've done so much work with therapy and things like that, and knowing, again, because I've been with this for a while, my whole life. So I've worked on myself on that side of things. So I see the signals early and things like that, right? And I can deal with them. But when you hear stuff like that, you go, well, everyone's on the spectrum, everyone's that was it. I told you classic stories when I went to the doctors, wasn't it? I told that story on the pod before. Oh yeah, everyone gets a bit down from your GP. I've gone there because I'm like close to jumping in front of a train. Yeah, everyone gets a bit down. I'm like, all right, thanks for that. I'll go and jump in front of that train, shall I? And you hear that from a GP and you're like, it's a bit strong. I mean, this was years ago, right? This was before like they had like wellness people in there and stuff like that. Yeah. But a geezer going to your GPs to say, I'm struggling at the moment.
It takes a lot.
I'm not being funny. That takes bollocks, right? But I did that because I was, and I didn't know what to do. And I went in there, and the lady said, well, everyone gets a bit down. Thanks. It's really helpful. That train looks interesting. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, and this is the thing. So it is important to have the courage to talk about it. And I know how hard it can be. Honestly, how hard it can be. And that took 6 months to build the courage up to go there, by the way, to the doctors. But when I did go and get the initial help from the NHS, life-changing. And it doesn't have to be the NHS. It can be the Samaritans. It can be a charity. It could be your best friend. It could be your parent. It could be your sibling. I talk to my brother about everything. Yeah. If I'm, there's stuff I don't necessarily, this is about stuff, but like, I don't want to burden Nick with sometimes because she's like, probably about a lot of you. She's got about a billion things on. She's just as stressed, just as anxious as me with about a million things. Sometimes you don't add burdens to your partner, right? But you know what I do? I go to speak to my brother. So have somebody in your life like that is so powerful that you can have an honest and relatable conversation to them, and they can immediately switch you out of whatever you're in. It's amazing, isn't it? It's brilliant. And I think hopefully from Michael's conversation, you can draw inspiration from that. Is that fair, Hayden?
I think inspiration as well as it's easy for me to say because I don't experience as much the symptoms of things that others do, but I think hope, because Michael was clearly in a dark place and he wasn't good. And there's hope now where 4 or 5 years down the line now, he's into running, really into running.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
He's running a satellite club. He's there as a support network for other runners turning up every single week. And he's happy to come on here and tell his story. So there's almost like hope that however tough it's getting, however tough it feels.
Inspiring.
There's other things
that
things
so there we go. Hayden, again, do a decent plug for the club TV, please.
Oh, it's 40 Runs Running Club TV. You can find us over on YouTube. I say we're going to have weekly interviews like the one you just seen called Beneath the Bib, where we go beneath the bib to find out about the runner. We've got race day vlogs. We've got park run vlogs. We're going to be talking to all sorts of people that make up whole big machine that is FORDY Runs Running Club, including Mr. Ford himself here, committee members, and the volunteer side of things as well. Loads and loads of content to come.
So get over there and subscribe to all that. And yeah, we'll see you on the next show. Don't know when it is. But thanks, Hayden, for jumping on doing this. Saying thanks very much for you and the guys involved in the club channel. I think it's a remarkable thing. And I'm excited to see where it goes. Make sure you subscribe to that. Make sure you tune in to the next podcast. I've got no idea what it is, but we shall catch you all later.